Ladies and gentlemen, Nimrod has arrived in Marvel Snap. How strong is this card? Is this going to be a meta-defining card or another fun card to add to your deck? I got my thoughts as well as some gameplay with Nimrod, and if you're ready for all of that, then you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go snap it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello. What is up, Valley Maniacs? I'm ValleyFlyin. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. Hope you're having a great day. In this video, we're talking all about the new season pass card, Nimrod. We got one of the decks that I've been using. I've actually tried a few different decks, but I think this deck has been the most consistent. Although this card feels a little clunky. I'm going to share the rest of my thoughts and some of the deck ideas that I have with this card. But before we do that, if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Snap content. At least 5 Marvel Snap videos per week on this channel with the latest deck ideas, news, tips, tricks, everything to help your Marvel Snap experience. But let's talk about Nimrod, this card, what it's going to do. When it's destroyed, adding a copy to each other location. Now, the copy that's going to be added is going to be a 5 power card, unless you're able to get this up, the power up with a card like Shuri, doubling its power to 10, or maybe a card like Nakia or Forge. Whatever the power that this Nimrod is going to be what those copies are going to be. So keep that in mind when you're building these Nimrod decks. We weren't able to really ramp it. I was trying some Shuri ramp decks. Unfortunately, the best deck that I found with Nimrod was with Galactus, but I did want to feature this deck because it did have some consistency, but overall this Nimrod card feels a little clunky. This 5 power, 5 cost just comes out a little late and is very telegraphed. Your opponent has a bunch of counters like we talked about yesterday in Cosmo, in Armor, even Arrow moving the card around can stop the destruction of this card. All right, so the main card in these decks, the main card of this season is Nimrod. So whether this Nimrod is 5 power or you've upped the power to 10 by playing Shuri beforehand, or a card like Forge or Nakia, or if your card got Scorpion by your opponent and it's only a 3 powered card or a 2 power or a 4 power card or whatever, that is what power is going to be. So keep that in mind when you're destroying these Nimrods. And I think that just doesn't allow it to get as much power as you would need to compete with some of the meta decks out there with these Infinauts and Deaths and She-Hulks, and of course the Shuri with the Red Skull. But a good scenario here is Sunspot followed by Armor on turn 2. Then we go with a ramp on turn 3 with either Electro or Wave. Then that Nimrod out on turn 5. Destroying that, creating multiple copies of that card with Arnim Zola. On turn 6, great play is Destroyer to destroy everything. Now, you may or may not want to include that armor depending on where that Nimrod goes. It may be a great play, may be a bad play, and depending what your opponent does as well. So that is a decent play. Unfortunately, with that play, it doesn't get a lot of power out. And if you're competing with cards with Wong or, like I said, Shuri with Red Skulls, you may not get enough power to win multiple lanes if they're playing a Red Skull and a Taskmaster. Thanos decks also are able to generate a bunch of power in multiple lanes as well, so I'm not sure how much power you're able to generate with this. I wasn't able to compete with some of the meta decks, although this was a fun deck and probably the best of the bunch. Besides the Galactus deck with Nimrod that I was playing. Played a bunch of different decks with Nimrod, but I think this one works. Now, the other option we have is a Black Panther Arnim Zola play. That one is very telegraphed, so not as effective as it was. But we also have that Dr. Doom play followed by Odin getting us more lane control as well. So we have a bunch of different options here. We have Sandman for some control because a lot of what we want to do in this deck is playing one card at a time. And we also have American Chavez in this deck to kind of thin our decks, get some of the cards that we need a little earlier. So that is this Nimrod deck. Like I said, the Galactus deck that we featured yesterday was probably the most consistent deck, but since that one featured Galactus and not everybody has Galactus, I didn't want to feature a deck that featured only pool 3 and lower cards. So hopefully you enjoy this deck. It was a little more consistent than some of the other decks that I've been using Nimrod in, but if there's a deck that you're really using Nimrod in and having a lot of success, let me know down in the comments. I don't think the full power of Nimrod has been discovered by the community yet, so I think there's some other decks out there that will work good, but in my experience, this has been the best deck. So let me know how it works, and hopefully you enjoy the gameplay, guys. All right, we have Armor, Wave, Sandman, and Electro, all of our ramp cards. Nothing that we can throw on Clintar yet, but a great card for Clintar will be Electro. get that ramp going and not really limiting our cards here. All right, let's just check them out. There's a Quinjet without a... So let's go with... Put armor on this location. Actually, no, let's go armor in the middle location since we're gonna... Actually, no, it's a card added to our head, not the location. All right, so let's go armor there. And we could go Electro on Clintar. All right, so what did we just protect? Card's getting +2 power. All right, that is actually nice. All right, we'll go Electro now. After turn 4, get a few more cards out, and I think we're going to Sandman them. And we actually have the option to go Dr. Doom in the middle, and then Arnim Zola that to get a lot of power out there. But hey, we have our Nimrod there, so let's go Nimrod in the middle. Let's Arnim Zola that. Let's see if that is enough power for us. We do that Sandman, they're limiting their plays they have. So kind of a useless to destroy that Electro with the Sandman that we're going to play on the very next turn. All right, there you go with a Misty Knight. All right, so we have a Nimrod option now, and I think we're going to finish up with Arnim Zola, although Destroyer wouldn't be the worst option here. Not sure if it's going to be enough power to win a lane on Destroyer. I guess if we play Destroyer on Clintar, that could be enough. They're going Darkhawk.
All systems go.
All right, so Arnim Zola won't win it for us. Just a little too much power with that Darkhawk there. We go Destroyer. That'll give us a shot at winning this. I think we do go Destroyer on Stark Tower. And let's see where we get the Nimrods popping up. We should have 2 Nimrods at Clintar. We're going to get an extra Darkhawk. So it looks like we do win Stark Tower, and we do just barely win Clintar. All right, we got Sunspot that we can play on turn 1. We don't want to play on a Hala just in case it gets destroyed. So we'll go on a far right location. We do have Electro, we do have Wave, and we do have Nimrod, way to ramp our deck up. They destroy our Sandman, so we're not going to be able to limit their cards. And all right, nothing that we can play on turn 2. We're going to skip this turn, give Sunspot a little bit more power. It's an unprotected Sunspot. All right, they got a Carnage, so maybe they're running some kind of Destroyer Nimrod deck on their own. All right, so let's go with Electro here. Hopefully we get that destroyed. All right, they play another card there, which is great. Which means that after turn 4, our Electro is going away. And we won't have that limiting ongoing ability, so good stuff for us so far. Next, guess we could gamble here. We could go Nimrod, and then hopefully Arnim Zola is able to go with Nimrod. We could also play Black Panther in that location as well. And giving us 2 chances instead of that 1 chance. All right, so we should destroy that Electro. This should destroy that Squirrel. And 2 of the cards get destroyed. We should win. Although we could go with the Arnim Zola now. So if we get this, I guess the better play would have been Black Panther, Doom, and Zola, but since we're running a Nimrod deck, let's just run the Zola. Now they probably are going to run a Killmonger with all these 1-cost cards on the board, then probably a Death. So will we have enough power to compete with that Death? I think we'll run the Zola now and then see if we could do the Doom later. I'm expecting a Killmonger this turn from them, though, so they could run that death out on turn 6. Hopefully it goes correctly. Hopefully we destroy the Nimrod and it doesn't destroy the squirrel. Let's see what happens here. So they no Killmonger. Interesting play there. So maybe they didn't get the death. Maybe they didn't get the Killmonger. And we get lucky with this one here. We get the correct card destroyed. Is that going to be enough power, though? We could put 5 more power here. Will they run maybe a Khazar? So even if they go Khazar, we would still win with a Dr. Doom here. I believe even a Black Panther would win. Let's go with this, and I think that's a win here. Let's see what they run. All right, it's America Chavez, so not enough to get the win. Nice. We get a Nimrod win featuring a lucky Arnim Zola play. All right, we got Sunspot Armor that we can play on turn 1, 2. We also Black Panther and Electro. All right, so our ramp is looking pretty good. I think what we could do, we could go Sunspot Armor on this location to the far right, and we could use that rickety bridge in case we get a Shuri's Lab. All right, that changes some things here. That Black Panther play is a little more appealing. That Nimrod play is a little more appealing. We need to get some kind of destroy card like a Zola, though. All right, there's the Odin. And we can run Electro on the rickety bridge in case they play something there. We get that negative ongoing ability destroyed. We don't want to give them too much on Machine World. All right, so they're going to be doubling up power. Unfortunately, we don't have a Shang-Chi to combat some of these high-powered decks. They go Killmonger, destroying nothing. But they do get that double power, so 6 power in the middle. You have an option right now for a Black Panther play. To finish up with Zola would be nice as well. We also got the traditional play, a Black Panther, Doom, followed by Odin, that we could run as well. We're looking to do for the last match. We're going to get a bunch of power there. Oh, they go Shang-Chi right away. All right. Not great for us, but not the end of the world. All right, let's run this Nimrod play here. Let's go Nimrod, followed by Destroyer. All right. So we're going to go destroy the middle lane, destroying that Nimrod. We'll get an extra 10 power Nimrod on Machine World. And hopefully that's enough to give us that Machine World. We'll get 30 in the middle there. They currently have 24, so they only need 6 power to get that middle location. We're probably going to lose the left. Or we'll tie the left. Be 0 there. Will we have enough power in the middle to win, though? I think this is our only play. I guess it just comes down to what they put in the middle. Because that rickety bridge will get stuff destroyed. We currently have 30. They're doubling up the power there. But currently we win Machine World. Actually, I forgot about that. Electro was going to get destroyed. So we win Machine World and we win Rickety Bridge, even though they have a bunch of power on Shuri's Lab. Miscalculated, but still, we still managed to get the victory. So worked out. All right, we have a Sunspot that we can play on turn 1. We also have a Destroyer option as well. I think what we want to do, we could go Sunspot on the big house. If we get an armor to protect that, and we could throw it on a Destroyer. Maybe we get Nimrod on our hand. And cards are costing 1 less, so we don't really need that ramp unless we want to get cards out early, Destroyer out even a turn earlier. I think what we could do, we could Sandman on turn 4, although we could get Sandman out on turn 3. Let's do that just to get a little bit more power out there, give us more options for the final turn, and also give Sunspot a little bit extra as well. All right, so there is a Cosmo that they are playing in that center lane there. So what we could do, we could Sandman them. That way, we playing one card, they could only play one card. They go with multiple cards there. They're not going to be able to do that on subsequent turns. So Killmonger destroying our Sunspot, also destroying their Nova. And we go with Sandman now. Question is, do we go with a Nimrod and try to do a Destroyer? Yeah, let's do that. Let's throw down the Nimrod, just because this is a Nimrod video. Let's do this. Let's go Nimrod, Destroyer, and Doom, and hopefully that is enough power. Unfortunately, we did get hit by their Scorpion, though. All right, they're going Maximus, try to win that location. All right, we're going to go Destroyer. We're going to get rid of our Electro. Unfortunately, we will get rid of our Sandman, but hopefully that's done enough that it's limited their ability to play cards. All right, we're going to get 10 more power somewhere else with Nimrod, and then 10 more power on the other two locations with Dr. Doom. So hopefully that is enough for us to win. And hopefully this turn 5 Sandman is limiting them enough that it's not good for them. All right, let's see what they play. All right, they go middle with Silver Surfer, boosting up their cards. Is this Destroyer going to be enough for this Nimrod? We are still currently winning on Wakanda, I think. All right, so we should have 10 on Elysium, 23 actually on Wakanda. We actually could get a little bit more power here through that wave down. And let's see if this is enough. I guess it was. They didn't like that. They retreated. All right, so that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck. Like I said, the Galactus deck that we talked about yesterday was a little more consistent, but this deck was probably more consistent than any other Nimrod deck that I've tried so far. It's a strange card and feels a little clunky to try to get it to perform at the top level in the current meta, but it's a good card. It's a fun card, and I would say it's going to be, as far as meta defining, sort of in that realm of MODOK, where it's a good card, a good in a decent archetype, but it is telegraphed, and your opponents have a lot of counter plays for it. So I don't think it's going to be reaching that top meta end anytime soon. So let me know what you think of this card. Hopefully you enjoy this deck, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Before you go, check out some of the other videos on the channel. If you haven't checked out some of the social media accounts, check those out, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.